and they will be the ones that will take a stand against Esau's seed, Amalek. And they will defeat Amalek, the good women. How's it going to come? It's going to come by the descendants of Rachel. Amalek will be defeated by the descendants of Rachel. How do I know that? We're finished with Bereshit. Well, we won't finish, but we'll start to close. Bereshit, Genesis chapter 33, verse 1. Amalek will be defeated by the descendants of Rachel. Genesis chapter 33, verse 1. And Yaakov lifted up his eyes and looked, and see, Esau came, and with him 400 men. And he divided the children to Leah and to Rachel and to the two handmaids. The two houses of Israel are divided. And he put the handmaids with their children and in the front, and Leah and her children after them, and Rachel and Joseph in the back. And he passed over before them and bowed himself to the ground 7 times until he came near to his brother. And Esau ran to meet him and embraced him and fell on his neck and kissed him, and they wept. And Esau lifted up his eyes and saw the women and the children and said, Who are those with you? And Yaakov said, The children that Elohim has by his unmerited favour given to your Eved servant. Then the handmaidens came near, and they and their children, and they bowed themselves. And Leah also with her children came near and bowed themselves. And after came Joseph near with Rachel, and they bowed themselves. What did they all do? They all bowed themselves before Esau. Who's Esau's grandson? None other than Amalek. But there's one that didn't bow. Just one. Turn to Bereshit, Genesis chapter 35, verse 18. And it came to pass, as her Chaim life was leaving, for she died, that she called his name Ben-Oni. But his Abba called him Ben-Yamin, Benjamin. Benjamin did not bow to Esau. The only one. Victory is going to come through the descendants of Rachel. They will be the ones that rise up and take a stand. The women take a stand against Amalek. Samuel Aleph, 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 1. 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 1. Samuel also said to Shaul, Yahweh sent me to anoint you to be king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore listen to the voice of the words of Yahweh. 1 Samuel chapter 15 verse 2. This said Yahweh Sevoth, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the derek, in the way, when he came to Mitzrayim. Now go and smite Amalek, and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare not, but kill both man, woman, infant, and the nursing, cattle, sheep, camel and donkey. And Shaul gathered the people together and numbered them in Telaim, 200,000 footmen and 10,000 men of Yehudah. And Shaul came to a city of Amalek and laid wait in the valley. And Shaul said to the Kenites, Go, depart, get away from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. For you showed chesed to all the children of Israel when they came out of Mitzrayim. So the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites, because the Kenites showed kindness to Israel. And verse 7, And Shaul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until you come to Shur, that is over against Mitzrayim. And he took Agag the Melech, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. But Shaul and the people spared Agag, along with the best of the sheep and of the cattle and of the fatlings and of the lambs, all that was tov, good. And they would not utterly destroy them, but everything that was vile and useless, that they utterly destroyed. Then came the word of Yahweh to Samuel, saying, "It repents me that I have set up Saul to be king, for he has turned back from following me. He has not performed my orders." And it grieved Samuel, and he cried to Yahweh all night. And when Samuel rose early to meet Saul in the morning, it was told Samuel, saying, "Saul came to Carmel, and see, he has set up a place, and he has gone out and moved on and gone down to Gilgal." And Samuel came to Saul, and Saul said to him, "Yevarecha echa Yahweh, I have performed the order of Yahweh." And Samuel said, "What means then this bleating of the sheep in my ears, and the bellowing of cattle which I hear? What is this?" And Saul said, "They have brought them from the Amalekites, for the people spared the best of the sheep and the cattle to sacrifice to Yahweh your Elohim, and the rest we utterly destroyed." Then Samuel said to Saul, "Stay, and I will tell you what Yahweh has said to me this night." And he said to him, "Go ahead and speak." And Samuel said, "When you were little in your own sight, were you not made the head of the tribes of Israel? And Yahweh anointed you king over all of Israel. And Yahweh sent you on a journey and said, go against and utterly destroy the sinners, the Amalekites, and fight against them until they are consumed." When they did not obey the voice of Yahweh, but they did jump upon the spoil and did evil in the sight of Yahweh. And Saul said to Samuel, "But yes, I have obeyed the voice of Yahweh, and have gone on from the direct that Yahweh sent me, and have brought Agag, the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites. But the people took the spoil, the sheep and the cattle, the best of the things that should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice to Yahweh your Elohim in Gilgal." And Samuel said, "Has Yahweh as great a delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in the obeying of the voice of Yahweh? See, to obey is better than sacrifice, to hear than the fat of rams. For rebellion is the sin of witchcraft." Rebellion is the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because you have rejected the word of Yahweh, he has also rejected you from being king. Saul was a Benjamite. Saul was a Benjamite. He did not fulfill his prophetic call. His prophetic call was to destroy Amalek. Benjamin did not bow before Esau. He did not bow before the seed of Amalek would come through